All right, Shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites coming back at you with another lesson through the Spirit. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of the great millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out His truth, and His truth is sincerity. I'm the brother Mayam.
Michael.
And we're coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. So we just want to do a video here going into a series that we watched a little bit of here on Netflix. Is entitled The Barbarians. All right, and it's basically just going into the nations, the so-called Germanic tribes that the Roman Empire was in league with, and how basically they were starting to go up against each other, basically ultimately leading to the downfall of Rome. We really haven't got too far into it, but through the Spirit, we know the history on it, and this Bible, the scriptures speak about that, and basically what we see happening here on the planet Earth in these last days is the exact same thing, If you want to get that in Ecclesiastes.
There's Ecclesiastes chapter 1, start at verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
The thing that is, which what? The thing that is, or was the 10 toes. Okay? Coming up, breaking up, coming up against the whore, Revelation chapter 17, which we'll get into some of these precepts. But what? It said that it is that which is that which shall be. Okay? And so these things happened during the time of the Roman Empire back in the past, and now it's happening all over again with the new Rome. All right? The new Roman system, which is that beast, which is being spearheaded through America. Okay, and it's the exact same scenario. All right, when you go into the history, you see this the exact same thing happening in these last days. Go ahead.
So Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done.
Yep. That which is done is that which shall be done. So, and the gist of it is history repeats itself. So these things have happened in the past, and they're going to continue to happen. Well, not continue. This is the last go around, but it's going to happen again. All right.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Yep. And there is no new thing under the sun. So, you can't say, "Oh, does it say?" No one can say this is new.
Yep. Verse 10.
Yep. Go ahead and read that.
Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, "See, this is new"? It hath been already of old time, which was before us.
Yep. See, it is new. The only thing that's going to be new is the day of the Lord. Okay, because what the Lord is bringing is a thing that's never been seen upon the face of the earth. But what? The events leading up to the judgment is the exact same thing. It's already happened. It happened to Rome in the past, man. Okay, with the so-called Germanic tribes. Okay, when you watch the series, they were like, "Oh, why are they calling us Germanic? We're not Germanic." Because you had different tribes. You had the Gauls. You had the what were they called? Dang, I don't have the old thing diagram, but you had the Gauls. You had the Germanian Major, Germanian. Basically, it was a Germanian Major and Germanian Minor, man. All right, which was a set of 10 tribes, which were Edomites. Okay, and this is what we see happening in the last days: is Edomite versus Edomite. Okay, Satan up against Satan. All right, devil versus the devil, man. All right. If you want to grab that real quick.
Which one? Daniel?
Matthew 12.
Oh, Matthew.
Yep.
This is Matthew chapter 12, start at verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
Yep, and that's exactly what's happening. The same thing with the Empire of Rome, because what? Rome was in league with these tribes. Rome had treaties with them. They had trade deals that they were doing. And who has trade deals with America right now? The majority of them, the trade deals is coming from the European nations, man. The EU. Okay, which is the exact same thing. I got a picture right here.
Okay.
Yep. So these were the tribes. Let me just let me get them. It says you had Belgium, which these are the modern terms for them now.
Yeah.
You had Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal. Okay, because at one point before that was known as one nation. England and Ireland, again, the same thing. West Germany. Okay, so those are the 10 tribes going back. I forget the exact names. I know the French were named the Gauls.
Yeah. The Franks. I don't know
The
exactly.
Franks were the I forget who. Yeah, I forget exactly who.
Yeah, the Vandals.
Yep, Vandals.
Yeah.
They were known as different names, but those are those 10 tribes.
Yeah.
Okay, that Esau was in league with, that they had deals with. All they had to do was pay tribute, meaning taxes. And what do these EU nations? What Donald Trump say when he first got in office? These other nations got to pay up.
Yeah.
Y'all got to pay more if y'all want us to defend y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same thing that when you see this, the series Barbarians. We just only watched. I watched halfway through the first episode, and you can see the Germanic tribes are like, this is not what we agreed upon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, because in Daniel's the 7th chapter, because those are family names. Because it says those 10 horns were 10 kings. Mm-hmm. So these are families that Esau was dealing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And again, going the same time today, these rich elite banking families.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. There's Matthew chapter 12 and verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself.
And that's what happened. Satan cast out Satan. Satan, Esau, Edom, he wanted to cast out the other Edomites, which is the same thing that's happening in these last days amongst the elites. They're up against each other because you have different families of the elites of Esau, Edom. Okay, because you had the Spanish Edomites, you had the French Edomites, you have the Russian Edomites, you have the American Edomites, you have the Jewish Edomites. Okay, and they're all up against each other, but ultimately they have one goal, which is that New World Order. But the ways of getting to that is different, and they're coming up against each other. Okay, but the hammer of the whole earth is America. So that nation, which is spearheaded by the so-called Jewish Edomites, all right, the Amalekites, all right, the elites of the whole world, the Rothschilds. Okay, those devils are the ones that are bringing about this New World Order. That's the agenda that's getting pushed. That's why so many nations are up against that land of Israel and America. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, because you think about the sons of Esau, going back to Genesis, it said the dukes of Edom. Yep. These are these same families pretty much dealing with each other, and again, now they're fighting each other once again. You want me to get...
finish that, Matthew.
Oh, yeah. It's Matthew chapter 12 and verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
Yeah, because and Yahushua was saying it because the Pharisees were saying that he was a Beelzebub. So and Yahushua was preaching basically against Satan. So how can Satan be against Satan? But that was also in reference to Esau, because that's what would be happening in the last days. Okay. Finish that real quick.
That was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
I think there's let me see. What's 27?
Go into the Revelation 17.
Get that. Because, again, like we're going into this series, it's going into those Germanic tribes rising up against the Roman Empire. And the modern day Rome is what? America, man. All right, this is that Roman system, and it's being spearheaded through, which is the beast. All right, that Roman system is the beast that is spoken of in Revelation, okay, or the dragon, so to say, the 7-headed dragon, which is going to go into here. This is America, man. But let's go ahead and get really to the point. Is it like 17 or something?
Yeah, it's 16. Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked.
Actually, start at verse 9. Yeah, start at verse 9.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth.
Yep. Which is what? 7 mountains is representative of 7 governments. 7 different governments. All right, and the woman, all right, is the mother of harlots. Going back to Revelation 17 and 5, it says, and upon her forehead was written, I'll read it real quick, verse 3, Revelation 17 and 3, it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. This is that Roman system, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman that was sitting upon that beast was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. Now, purple is synonymous with royalty. Okay, and what? America is looked at upon, and if you brothers want to jump in, you brothers can jump in. You know, if you want, you know, the spirit jumps on you, if you want to jump in, y'all can. But that purple is synonymous with royalty, and what? America is seen as a place of the place to be. Yeah. Like if you want to become rich, go ahead.
This is a lady of kingdoms.
Yep.
You know, standard of beauty.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the standard. It says, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations, because this is what America pushes, nothing but abominations. Because what? I believe it's Revelations 18 that she has made drunk.
Nations drunk in their mad.
She has made the other nations drunk. I don't know if it's.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. It's in this chapter.
Okay.
But it says having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Because America, that's what they push. They push out homosexuality. They push out women's rights. Okay, they've pushed out a bunch of different things. Pedophilia. Okay, Satan worship. Okay, all that's been pushed out to the whole earth through America.
Yeah, I got you. Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, the nations have drunken of her wine. That was what was in that golden cup, man. All right, but it says here in verse 5, it says, and upon her forehead, the forehead of the woman, was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So who's that? That's America, man. Babylon the Great. And why is it a mystery? Because to this very day, the majority of the people here in America and around the earth don't understand that this place in America is Babylon the Great, man. That's why it says it's a mystery. But it says the mother of harlots because what? Out of America stemmed all of these other nations became harlots, man. They slept, they got into bed with this place. Okay? They committed fornication with this place. It says in abominations of the earth, right? Because, and again, that's what's been pushed out here in America is a bunch of abominations, man. You got transgenders here, you know. You got the that group, I forget what it's called, but they're for pedophiles. It's literally a group of men that are openly stating that they like boys, man, little boys. Where else in the world do you see that, man? But here in America. But go ahead.
It's Revelation 17, and want to read 9 again?
No, just
go 10.
Yep.
Revelation 17 and verse 10. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come.
Yeah. So the 5 that are fallen were the Greeks, the French, the Spanish, the Germanian Major, and Germanian Minor. And the one that was the Roman Empire. Because what? John the Revelator was the one that was writing this. He was on the island of Patmos when he wrote the book of Revelations. And who put him there? The Roman Empire. Okay? But what did it say? And one is, and the other is not yet come. Talking about the British Empire. Okay? Because the British Empire was the seventh head of the beast. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
Yeah, because the British Empire didn't really rule as long as the other nations. It didn't rule as long as Greece did. It didn't rule as long as Germany did. It didn't rule as long as Spain or the French did. Okay, it was just a quick little time period, and then the rule of Rome or the British just went away. Really, it ended after World War I. Okay, but go ahead.
Verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th.
Yep, because the beast that was, talking about that Roman Empire, and is not, because it went away. That Roman Empire, like it says, it had a deadly wound. Okay? And it says, even he is the 8th. And keep going.
and is of the seventh, and goeth into perdition.
And is of the seventh, meaning, and remember we said that the British Empire is that seventh head, so it said, and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seventh. So what came out of the seventh? What came out of Britain? America. America was born of Britain. And America is the hammer of the whole earth, just like Rome was the hammer of the whole earth when it was in rulership, man. Okay? So go ahead.
Verse 12, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings.
Yep, and we went into those 10 kings, all right, which today is the EU. When you go into those 10 nations that we named, they were the original 10 of the EU when it first started back in 1956.
Yeah.
Okay?
European Economic Community.
Yep, the ECC or EEC, however, the European Economic Commission, EEC. So what? And then what? They to upset prophecy, or to try to upset prophecy, they split Spain and Portugal. They split Ireland and England, and so on and so on. So now I think it's like 28 or 29 different nations in it. But originally, when they first started, it was 10 nations, man. Okay, go ahead. See, this is why Esau Edom is being revealed. You know, you did all these different little changes throughout time to try to throw people off from the scriptures, but what? The Lord has given us this information, man. The Lord has, you can research all this. Everything that we're saying, you can research. As a matter of fact, you got Edomites that will break down Revelation 17 to a T, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 12, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
Right, because these 10 nations haven't really ruled like that. They haven't ruled the earth. You ain't seen the French had their own kingdom. You know, they ain't really ruled the whole earth like that. You haven't had Germany rule. Matter of fact, going to World War II, watch what happened to Germany when they tried to take over the whole earth. They got bombed to hell, man. That's the whole thing behind World War II, because Germany wanted to do their own. You know, they again, Satan versus Satan, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 13, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
Yeah, they all have one mind. So they have different strategies of how to get there, but they ultimately have one mind. They have one goal, which is that New World Order. They want to take back the blessing, because they all go back to Edomites, man. The leaders of these nations, that is. Okay, they all go back to Esau, and they have one agenda in mind, and that's to rule the earth and get their blessing back. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 14, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them.
Yeah, because and ultimately at the end, they're going to go physically to war with Yahushua, and they're going to lose miserably. But right now they're at war with the Lamb, because the spirit of Yahushua is in the prophets. Because we are in the prophets are in the spirit of Yahushua, and that's why you see the YouTube getting shut down. You know, you have Satan attacking brothers so heavily because their mind, and you have certain laws that are being passed. You know, to get, you got this whole COVID-19. You can't be. There was that time period where you couldn't be in groups of I think it was like 6 or 10 people. You know, some states were like 5 or less. But nonetheless, that was all geared towards going up against the Lamb, man. Go ahead.
Verse 14, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them.
Yep, the Lamb shall overcome them, man. So brothers that are in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you best believe that we're going to overcome, man. All right, go ahead.
For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the scriptures say many are called, but few are chosen. But it said what? They are called, those that are with him. It says, and they that are with him are called and chosen, man. So those of you that are with Yahushua, in the spirit of Yahushua, prophesying out on the highways and byways, in season, out of season, okay, daily edifying the flock, okay, watching over the flock. Hey, guess what? Like I said here, it said, and are faithful, you shall overcome with Yahushua, man, with the Lamb. Go ahead.
Verse 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Yeah, right, because the beast is over the whole earth. They're ruling over all the nations of the earth. You might think that you're in China and you're away from the beast, but guess what? They'll easily put sanctions on China and you're through. Now your whole nation is done for. Look at Iraq. Look at Libya. Okay, before America got there. Look at Iran right now. Iran is going through it, man. Why? Because America's putting sanctions on them. Okay, and their economy is through. So that those waters are the nations, man. Everybody on the whole earth. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
And we see that. We've seen that for the last couple years, man. Especially in the last couple years. The European nations, all right, because those are the 10 horns, mainly the 10 horns. They've been hating the whore. That's why you've had a lot of America pulling back from the Paris Treaty. That sparked a lot of conflict, which it really it goes that beast goes into NATO and the EU. Like right now you have the whole issue with Turkey going on. America talking about this and that because Turkey doesn't want to stop. They're gonna go with Russia's S-400s, the missile defense systems, instead of America's, and they're like, to hell with y'all. We still gonna put it out there, okay? And I believe Turkey was a part of NATO. I don't know if they still are. I don't think they are. But America's putting sanctions on all these different nations that were once their allies, man. And what are they doing? They're turning back, and they're like, damn, like, I thought we made these treaties. Like, you can't do this to us. You put sanctions on us. Same thing with going back to the 10 original tribes, man, during the time of Rome, man. Rome was doing the exact same thing to them nations. They were in league with them, right? They had trade deals going on, and then Russia started coming down on them, raising what's the word for taxes? Usury, raising the usury up, and they were like, yo, like we can't. And if you see in the beginning of the episode, the first episode of that show Barbarians on Netflix, the Roman military came up into one of the tribes, and they started taking their pigs, their cows, their everything that they had, and they said, and then after they took everything from them, they said, this is not enough. So I mean, and is that not what's going on in these last days, man? Is not America doing that all over again to these nations? Like, look. What Donald Trump said, what y'all putting in is not enough. You got to put in more money. Go ahead.
It says, I read again verse 16, Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked.
Mm-hmm. Shall make her desolate. You go into that word desolate means empty. Okay? And naked. Okay? Go ahead.
And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Yeah, because ultimately at the end of the day, all right, literally the end of the day, these nations are going to destroy this place. They're going to get so sick and tired of this place that they're going to go to war with this place, just like they did back during the time of the Romans. When Rome was weak, those Germanic so-called Germanic tribes, they attacked Rome, man. Okay, and it's going to be the same thing in these last days, except it ain't come, like the scriptures say, if you want to get it real quick, the battle of old is confused noise.
Yes, yeah.
Get that real quick, because the battle that's getting ready to come, like back in the day, they came with swords and horses and this and that. This time they ain't coming with that, man. They come with a nigga in a room thousands of miles away that just pushed the red button. Okay? That's what they're coming with. That's why it said, and they shall burn her with fire, man. Go ahead.
It's Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood.
Right, because the battles of old, that's all it was. There was bloodshed everywhere. People's necks were getting slit by the swords. People were shooting arrows. You were running at each other, screaming. There was people gurgling, just dying everywhere, man. So there was a bunch of confusion happening. But what?
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, man. Meaning what? Missiles. That's how the nations are. That's how those 10 kings are gonna. The 10 horns are gonna burn the whore, man. That's how they're gonna do it. With the missiles, with the burning of fuel, because that's what's in those missiles, man. Fuel. Okay. Go ahead. That was it on that? Yeah, finish off that's Revelation 17 real quick. Or unless you got something else real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
Revelation 11 in verse...
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going to, yeah.
Revelation 11 in verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Going into woe, that word woe means destruction. You know, so this is you had the first woe, the second woe, World War I, World War II. Now the third woe comes quickly. The third world war is coming quickly, man. We already in it. It just hasn't escalated. It hasn't got to this peak. All right. Because this is a different type of war than it was in the past. You ain't gonna have the battle of What was that in World War I or World War II, where the troops came up on the shore?
The trench warfare.
Nah, they came up on the shore, and as soon as they were coming off the boats.
D-Day. What's it called?
D-Day. Yeah, it was called D-Day, but it was a specific name of the battle that was called. But they got slaughtered out there, man. That ain't gonna happen. Because there ain't really gonna be troops like that. It's gonna be troops, but it's just gonna be a meat grinder. Niggas is gonna go get up planes and die because missiles are getting shot off.
Is it Normandy?
Yep, Normandy. There we go. It ain't gonna be another Normandy. You're just gonna have missiles getting shot off, drones getting shot off, ships sending missiles off. Okay, that's all that it's gonna be, because that's all we have. That's all that the nations have right now. Yeah, we can shoot a gun or two, but what's more effective?
Yeah,
we can take a whole troop out.
And a lot of niggas don't even want to go to war anyways.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna be want to go out there like that and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You want me to finish Revelation?
Yeah, go ahead and get 17.
All right, Revelation 17 and verse 17. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill His will.
Yep, in the hearts of who? The 10 horns, man. Really, all these other nations, because the scriptures talk about let the weak say I am strong. The Lord's putting His Spirit into those nations to say that. Because now the Lord has put them, established them on a certain level to where they feel confident enough that they can go up toe-to-toe with America, man. Just like those, in history, you had the nations get up on a level to where, like, you know what? We can go head-to-head with these people, man. With the Romans. Now it's all over again. Remember, we read Ecclesiastes chapter 1?
Yes.
That which is that which shall be. We read it's happening all over again, man. Go ahead.
Verse 17, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill His will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled.
Yep, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. Okay, and that's what's happening. The Lord is fulfilling His words through these other nations. Because there's a sword of destruction that's coming upon this place, man. Just like a sword of destruction came upon Rome. Okay? Well, it's that beast that is and was and even is of the 8th, of the 7th, I mean, is back here again. Through America. Okay? That horn that was more stout than its fellows. Okay? It had the iron teeth that devoured our nations. Matter of fact, read verse 18 in that chapter.
It's Revelation 17 and verse 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city.
And what America is known as a great city. A city is just a place that has a certain population, man. And America has a certain population, man. Okay, go ahead.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And does not America do that? America you can have something happen in your own country, and America go over there and tell y'all what you have to do. Okay? That's why you had Trump talking about he's going to set up peace treaty. He's going to bring peace with that whole shit that's happened with Armenia and I don't even know how to pronounce the other nation, but he said that he was going to bring peace to them, which he didn't. But he said that he was going to do it. Why? Because they reign over the whole earth. That's why he's saying that, because he has that ability to, because this is that whore, man, that rideth upon the beast. This is the hammer of the whole earth. Okay? You got anything else to close down on?
No, that's going to be something.
Hey, so with that, Lord's will, this was an edifying video. We want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth. We're diligently pushing out this truth and this truth and sincerity. And with that, we say, Shalom.
Shalom.